Hey everyone, Peter Parker here, and I'm going to talk to you about some Star Wars news today. Apparently, Donald Glover, apparently he's a comedian or something, has been cast as young Lando in the Han Solo film coming in 2018. And I don't know if I've said this before, I'm pretty sure I said this before. This Han Solo movie is a big mistake. I think they're wasting their time and their resources when they could just make something smaller like a TV show or something. Because young Han Solo was such an iconic character. We're trying to do his backstory in movies. How much can he really do in 2 hours? You know they're going to try and pump out a freaking trilogy with this kid, Alan something, whatever his name is. And then top things off even more. They're going to now put young Lando in the movie because I guess having a movie just about Han Solo and fleshing out his character isn't enough. You got to put someone else that's popular in the Star Wars universe. Han and Lando are two of my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe, especially Han. So that and this Donald Glover guy. I look at this picture. I don't see Lando. I don't see Lando when I look at him. I don't. I just don't. You know, nothing personal against the actor. I'm sure he could pull it off, but he's a comedian. I don't know if he could pull off the suave, bad boy type thing that Lando does in the original trilogy. And another thing is, Han and Lando's relationship is a certain way in the original trilogy when we see them. Their relationship is established the moment Lando comes on screen in Cloud City. The moment he comes on screen. I mean, they mentioned a couple of things that happened in the past, but do we really need to see it? It's not a matter of needing. I don't want to see it. You know, I don't want to see this movie. I don't like the idea of any of these spin-offs. I think it's complete desperation, and it's a terrible idea to make a Han Solo movie, young Han Solo movie. Expect people to just roll along with it just because it's Star Wars, you know. And everything in Star Wars is good. I'm not talking about the prequels. There's prequels somewhere in the middle for me, personally. I mean, love them or hate them, they're still there, and they're really not that bad. If you look at them from a different perspective. If you look at them from the perspective of a biased fanboy, just like, oh, it's not the original trilogy, so it's terrible. If you look like that, then of course you're not going to like them. If you look at them from, okay, this is the beginning, you're filling in the gaps, you get to see a fresh take on the Star Wars universe, where everything was all clean and nice before it's all like ruined and stuff. It's time before the Empire takes over the galaxy. Then it's fine. It might not be executed in the best way, but it's still better than nothing. So that's how I look at the prequels. But back to Lando. I don't see Lando when I look at this guy. I really don't. Yeah, nothing personal against the actor, by the way. I think an unknown actor would have been a better decision, especially if we're talking about like, you know, they're gonna try and make a trilogy with these kids. They're gonna try and make a trilogy. You know what? I know it. I'm just not gonna watch it make a trilogy. It'll be a waste of my energy. It's probably gonna be trash anyway. So, like, I haven't seen any of these actors, either of these actors, doing many things as far as movies. But I don't buy Alan Reich, whatever his name is, Han Solo. Just looking at him, doesn't look like he can pull off the role at all. That's just my take on it. Like, if you're gonna be Han Solo, I need to like look at you and say, okay, this guy can pull it off. You know, if we cast an unknown, there would probably be less risk because less people know about the person, and you probably get away with a little bit more. Now it's like young Lando, and now it's gonna be like, oh, this is before his time on so, well, yeah. Now it's gonna be like, oh, young Lando's before his time as a smuggler or whatever, before he became administrator of Cloud City. Like, why do I want to see that? You just do that in a TV show, seriously. You know, like that Rebels cartoon was trash, but like still, look at Clone Wars. It's got a lot of familiar characters, but it tells good stories. That's why it's so good. Rebels is just trying to be something it's not. It doesn't know what it wants to be. That's the problem with that series. Too busy trying to sell toys instead of actually telling good stories. That's why I have no interest in watching it. That's why I have no interest in watching Rogue Zero, wherever else stupid movie is called. Like, just sad to see where all this is going. Rumors about the movie, a plot in the movie being how Lando lost the Falcon. Like, who cares? Falcon is Han in the original trilogy. It's all that matters. Why would we need to see? Yeah, not about needs really, but why would I want to see how Lando loses the Falcon? Doesn't sound interesting at all. I'm not sure if I said it before, but I think Disney should invest in a live action TV series, Game of Thrones style. Not only will the ratings be off the roof, but you can expand the universe even more. Instead of just making movies, just do there's other mediums you can use. Use the comics, make some new comics, make a TV series, live action for once, it'll be great. I even go as far as to make a Han Solo live action TV series. I watch the crap out of that. Like a movie, like, what can you really do? Seriously, what can you really do? You're only going to try and make a trilogy. Well, if they were just going to make it, I don't even know. Just kind of makes me nervous because their relationship was a certain way in the original trilogy, and if they screw this up, they're going to potentially ruin the entire series. Same thing with Rogue One. That movie is so close to the original movie. They can't make any mistakes. It has to be perfect, lined up perfectly. There can't be any mistakes. They can't afford it. They spend like $1 billion getting Star Wars, and instead of spacing things out, like having this spin-off movie, for example, further back in time, away from the original movie. I'll even say make it before the prequels, for Pete's sake, or maybe in between or something. I don't know. But like the fact that it's so close to the original movies means it has to line up perfectly. Perfectly. I mean, everything from Vader's brief appearance, sadly, has to be on point. They can't afford to make any mistakes. You know, and number two, like I said in my trailer discussion before, none of these chumps in Rogue Zero are going to make it out of the damn movie. So, and then, you know, they probably wanted to make a trilogy of these spin-off movies. Probably would have been a cool thing to see, but they ruined it by putting it too close to the original trilogy. So now they have their hands tied behind their backs. So that's their fault. That's your fault, Mickey Mouse. Stupid. I mean, like, it's another prequel. So what are people really expecting? Seriously. The trailers really don't sell the movie for me at all. The fact that it's going to be like next to no Vader just really ticks me off. That would have been the only reason to watch the movie in the first place. But the trailers to barely show them. The only thing they need to do is show Vader to sell this movie. They're like, you can't even do that. It's like a scene here, 30 seconds there. It's like, why would I spend money on this horse crap? Seriously? It's a waste of time. But yeah, back to Lando. I'm sure there's a lot of rich history with Lando Calrissian, but here's the point I wanted to make from the beginning. If you're going to make a Han Solo movie, don't put Lando in there right away. Flesh out Han Solo's character, add Lando later. Especially, you know they're going to try to make a trilogy out of this crap. You know. Add Lando later, because I'm guaranteed they don't meet it right away. And two, like I said, the relationship is in a certain place in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So, you have to be careful, Mickey Mouse. You really got to be careful with how you handle this. Because if you screw this up, you might as well give Star Wars back to Lucas. Heck, if Rogue Zero bombs at the box office, it's not going to bomb at the box office, but like amongst the fans, it's going to split the fan base. I have no interest in seeing it. So, that's me out of one person out of tons of other people that don't like it either. I guarantee. I know I'm not the only one that doesn't like the trailer. I'm like, tickets are probably go on sale in November. I'm like, no, not watching it. I'll catch it on cable. But like, young Lando, save him for later. It's fine on the cast him, but like, why? Why? Just boggles my mind to think that they're going to ruin not one, but two characters, two classic characters from the original trilogy. Like, and it's the same thing with young Anakin from the prequels. People didn't like young Anakin because once they realized he was young Darth Vader, they threw their hands up in the air. Like, oh no, it's the young Anakin, he cries too much or whatever. You know? Fanboys, grown ass men cry about behind their computer desks because they have no actual lives. Sad. Like, still. I think it's a mistake. It's a huge mistake. By the time they realize it, it'll be too late, of course. That's how it usually works anyway. You know, the one thing that might get me to see is when we're seeing the Falcon again, but I don't want to see how Lando loses the Falcon in that dopey card game, like Casino Royale style. It sounds really boring. Especially if, you know, Tom's probably cheated or something. Like, okay, why do I want to see that? I mean, like I said, the relationship was established within the first, when Lando first appears on screen. All established. They can't possibly make a movie about that. They could try, but it will be a waste. They could do so much more in different medium, like a comic series or a TV show, which I would watch. That's the only way I would watch this if it was a TV show. I'm not spending Lord knows how much money to see a crappy another prequel. Because now apparently we gotta fill in the gaps for every little damn thing that happened in between the freaking movies. On paper, it sounds like a good idea, but in reality, when so many people hold the original trilogy to such high standards, you're thinking about what Mickey Mouse is doing now. It's like, you sure about this? I got my reservations. Sorry, Internet, for having an opinion. I'm like, seriously, it's a mistake. It's a huge mistake. Live action TV show is the way to go. Now, I think so has been announced by Disney already for ABC. Like, still. Big mistake. When you think about it from a logical standpoint, it doesn't make any sense. And the sad part about this Rogue One movie is there aren't going to be any sequels. That's kind of sad because that's almost like a wasted opportunity right there. Especially when you got new characters that you could explore. I mean, they can't do anything else now because they're all going to die. Oh, they're all going to die for this war movie. Right, because there's no survivors in war movies, right? Still, I could care less. I'm like, honestly, I don't know. What are they really expecting? Young Lando, like, they can't really expect someone like me or other fans around the world to just roll over and accept some new chumps playing classic characters. Like, what are you smoking, Mickey Mouse? Seriously, what are you smoking? Right, here's an article on StarWarsNews.net. Recently, Donald Glover talked about being cast in the upcoming Han Solo movie and how it feels to become an active part of the Star Wars saga. Yeah. With his role as a young Lando Calrissian. Yeah, I don't see Lando when I look at this guy. No offense, man, but I really don't. Again, big mistake. Big mistake. Like I said with Rogue Zero, it's going to bite him in the ass. We're counting down the days. It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. It's not so much me hating on this. I love this character so much. I really don't want to see him screwed over. Like I was telling someone before, like, why don't they just focus on the actual saga films? Like, finish 8 and 9, and then do your crappy spin-off movies. Like, you're making in between to take you on to actually see the extra stuff I actually want to see. the same time, this guy actually got the parts. Really, whatever Disney's trying to do, they fit the role somehow, I guess.